It started out as a gloomy day, and I wanted to head out and check out some old trails I hadn't been on in years. And this here's that cut line I was talking about in the other video. This is that one this really long cut line that we were gonna take that one time to do a pack trip, but it never did happen because my buddy's truck got vandalized, and so we didn't go on that trip that day. That was back in 2005. But anyhow, I'd been on this trail several times on the old vintage snowmobiles and whatnot.
Last time I was on this trail, I was on a 1972 Rupp Nitro 340. Me and my buddy Brent, and he had his dog too. Poor dogs, they ran hard that day, and I never ran Chevelle too much after that again behind a snowmobile. Just snow was about 3 feet deep, so it was really hard going for them. Hey girl, it was really tough.
So yeah, not far from here is the Greg River cabin. It's a big cabin that the pulp mill built in about 1998, I believe it was, and it's got a wood stove in it and stuff. And we stayed in at that time, and it was about -30, and yeah, the dogs chased us all up and down these trails for miles and miles. Another time we were hunting up here in my old 81 Ford F-250, and we got it stuck, so I wanted to go and see those ruts.
Oh, you smell a bear? I hope not.
There's all kinds of grizzly bears in this area, so it doesn't hurt to let them know you're coming. So yeah, at one time this just would have been a cut line for like oil and gas exploration and looking for coal and everything else, and then eventually they put a pipeline through here. That's why it's quite a bit wider now. It goes quite a long ways, and then it turns back into a cut line.
Is there a cut line? I wonder if anybody's using it. Chevelle and I were hunting one time, and came down this trail and ended up getting stuck in the bogs down here with my pickup truck, so we had to hike all the way to the Greg cabin. All we had was a couple of grouse for food and a package of bacon, eh girl? And then we walked all the way from there to Skidoo Valley back towards Hinton, and then my buddy Brett picked us up there. Well, guys are using the trails, that's good. The city slickers started hanging out here a lot more lately, and they really keep the trails beaten down. This trail used to be hardly ridden. Hang on, girl, or you're gonna go over the bars. Hang on. We made some bridges back here for my truck. I wonder if they're still here. I haven't been here. Holy shit, that was 7 or 8 years ago. Brent had to come with his quad and his winch, and we made it out. Barely.
It would have been about 2009. That's when I got that old Ford, aka Brownie, because the front half was brown and the back half of the box was white, and it was a 351 modified 4-speed and it was on propane as well. It's quite the truck.
I think it's just before that hill. There's a little bog, and we didn't quite make it, eh, Chevelle? Lots of moose back in here too.
But anyway, we took it down this trail, and that's when we got it stuck. And we went to the cabin. We hiked to the cabin, and then we spent the night in the cabin. and then hiked out the next day. Had to cross the river and stuff, and poured all night long, so the river was just raging. It was quite the adventure.
Here's one of the bridges we made right here. Cool. Holding up, I see. Should be another one here coming up. I think there was a couple bridges. And we cut, remember I cut a bunch of stumps here to get my pickup truck through here. Not many big vehicles come down here, mostly just quads and side-by-sides, dirt bikes.
Yeah, it must have been in September or October. I think it was in September. But anyway, we tried everything, got stuck there, and then I had a big 50-foot cable, and I tried wrapping around my hubs, and if I would have had a locker for the front, we would have got out, because I didn't have a winch on that truck. I tried everything, I dug, I did it all, and I just couldn't get out, so I had to go and hide one of my rifles in the bush, and then I just took, surprisingly, I took my little 22. I left my 30-06 hidden in the bushes there. You think I would have taken the bigger rifle with all the grizzly bears here.
I think this is where we got stuck. Yeah, this is definitely the spot. I think, anyways. Oh, that's right, I remember. I thought I was being smart by going wide. And I went, because the original trail used to go there, so I went to the left, but I didn't go far enough, and I remember after I got stuck thinking how I should have just went a little more and I would have made it. Yeah. Would have made it through this. That's where I got stuck, right there.
Geez, 20 feet over, and we would have made it like nothing.
Oops. We walked all the way up this hill and all the way to the great cabin.
So now we're walking. We got the Ruger 22 with the 3x9x40 scope on it. I think we had one grouse, maybe two. I know we got one on our hike to the cabin. And I measured it out on my map as it was about 5.5 kilometers from where we got stuck to the cabin. And so and it was, I think it was around 7 at night, 7 p.m. So I had my sleeping bag and my rucksack, two things that I never used to bring with me back then. And yeah, we just went for a good little walk and made lots of noise. We didn't run into any bears because this is definitely where they hang out. Lots of grizzlies here. And we headed towards the cabin. Oh, and I had a package of bacon, I remember that time. Again, something that I never used to bring. And it was almost like I wanted to get stuck on that trip or something. But yeah, we were prepared for it, that's for sure.
Turn my phone on, you never know, I might get service somewhere here. Haven't had service for about 5 days. Pop out right there.
For those that didn't see on the other videos, that's my reverse override switch, and I wired in I think it's a Viper car alarm into there. It works good for letting the bears know you're around, because out of all the places where I see grizzly bears, I've seen them in this area probably about 3 times over the years, so I'm not taking any chances here.
was just reading some history there on this area, and they're talking about this forest fire that came down and almost burned the Great Cabin, and I think it was in around 1960. But there's where the fire was right there, I believe.
Talking about the original Greg cabin, there's a forestry cabin there that the forest rangers used to it used to be a day's ride from the other cabin to this one on horses. There's a big, large, newer log cabin there as well.
My camp is just, I guess it'd be just straight across from here. Actually, no, a little bit back there, because I can see all those hills from my camp. If you get spot, stop, check for some trails. Let Chevelle play ball, eh? Well, I don't know if you can see in through the camera, but just where the highway goes up through the trees there, you can see the highway where it ends. If you look down and a little to the right, you'll see a clump of aspen trees, or like poplar aspen. That's right beside where my camp is. So
We're right up in that top ridge there.
well, it's a steep country in here. Oh yeah, here's this other little trail. That's right. One that needs to be opened up. I thought I took it one time. I think I did. Nobody's using it though. All kinds of grouse in here. Come here, Chevelle. Chevelle, come on up. Come for a ride. All kinds of chickens and rabbits in here, eh, Chevelle? Come on. Come on up. Oh, there you go. Hate to run into a frickin' bear here. Hey, Chevelle. Could definitely use some cleaning this trail. Whoa, hang on, Chevelle. There's the lease.
Coming up on a natural gas lease here. I think it's abandoned, I'm not sure. I think they drilled all these wells in the late 80s and in the early 90s. There's a bunch around, but there doesn't seem to be too much activity at them anymore.
Old abandoned lease. There's the well. Is there a trail up here, Chevelle?
I always put it in low range on these brute forces. I just don't take the chance of screwing up the belt. It's not like the Yamahas where they got a wet clutch in them. These are just a belt clutch, and the clutches are just like on a snowmobile on these ones.
so. Nope. Wanna run? Well then sit up there. Hang on.
Poor Chevelle. She's sitting on the back seat there. No real box to hold her in place. But she used to always run, and we never really rode that quad that much. So I never really took the time to build a box for that quad. At the time we hiked out, I remember we got to this spot and I could hear a vehicle coming up the gravel road, so I grabbed Chevelle and I ran into the bushes to go hide, because not long before that, a few years, a friend of mine actually had gotten shot while out hunting, and so that was it was still pretty fresh in my mind, so I just wanted to get the heck out of there. You just never know. So this is a trail that I had taken years prior with my old F-150, my truck. And I wasn't quite sure if it went anywhere, so I thought, well, we'll take a little stroll up. There's always a little smashed out, burned up car, or I don't know what happened there, but it's been there for over 20 some years now.
I took my truck up this trail one time. Can't remember if it did go anywhere or not. We'll find out. And I'm pretty sure I took video of this time too. It wasn't as well traveled as it is now. Still pretty rugged. I think it ends just right up here. Or not. Somewhere I'll come and clean it out. I think I did clean this trail a ways, but I can't remember. Well, we'll cut this open for sure. Well, that's cool. I hope it actually comes out soon. I'm pretty sure it wasn't this good when I came through here in the truck, but sometimes all it takes is just cut a few trees and then people start using it. So I'll cut some for sure. Well, just on this trail, and I remember one time I took my old F-150 up here, if you can believe that. It's tight. Anyway, I remember thinking if I cleared it, maybe people would start using it, and look at this. People started using it again. So yeah, you can see it's been a while since I cut these. And I'm going to guess it was around 2007 when I did that. So yeah, I'm going to cut some more. Clear it out. It's actually pretty good back there, but it's not terrible here, but it's not awesome. So we'll just clear a nice big strip. Hopefully it actually goes to the next cut line. That's the only song I can play without getting a copyright strike against me. Okay, so back in 2007 when I took my F-150 up here, I can't believe where I took that thing, but this is where I stopped clearing, and you can see nobody went past there, so everybody was just going to this spot and turning around, because that's how most people are. They're just out for a ride. They're not out to clear trails, so they just turn around and find another one. There's bazillions of them around here.
So I think this is one of the old historic logging roads or trails from before the pulp mill started in 1956 in Hinton there, which is not far away from here. Apparently what they had was they had these old trails, and so what they did to lay the cut blocks out, instead of just making perfect squares and stuff, they often followed these old trails. I read in the history books that they followed these old trails, and then they that's how they'd have the boundary for their cut block. And I think this is one of those trails, but we'll come back to that later.
This trail might not go anywhere. It might just go up into a cut block and end. I'm not sure. It is heading towards another cut line. And being as how I cleaned it out the first time and people started using it, I figure I'll just clear it out some more, and then hopefully they'll keep using it up to here and keep it open. I should put a sign up and hang it on the tree and just put a little sign saying, you know, if you got a chainsaw, can you cut just another, 100 feet or so and then turn around before you leave, kind of thing. But yeah. Anyhow, I'll just keep clearing for now. A little sketchy there because there's a big hole if you fall off. Map is on. It is. Watch out.
This is why I don't like those big, new, huge side-by-sides, because I'd never be able to go down these trails with those things. A quad or a small side-by-side, in my mind, is the way to travel around these parts.
That's the end of my clear trailing, or trail clearing for today. Somebody else can clean this out. Or I'll come back and do it. See where it goes, I'll come from the other way and see where it heads.
Okay, so I ended up turning around on that other trail. It was just way too grown in, and I didn't want to clear all day. So I turned around, and I went up the road, and then I caught another trail. And then I came onto this old one that I hadn't been on since, I think, about 2007.
Holy shit, blew the frickin' seat right off him. What kind of a trike is that? Polaris, maybe? All fiberglass. That's funny. Or homemade? No. I don't think so. Seen this beer before. I don't think there's a name on it. Cool. Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful trail. Like, it's just like a highway and nobody's using it. I don't think people know it's here. Yeah, last time I was here was on the little Honda in about 2007, Chevelle? Chevelle ran the whole way just about. Well, this is a really good trail. It's just a little willowed in, but people are using it more than I've ever seen it used, so that's cool. I'm just about to the top here where you can see where the cut block is there. I'm just on the edge of it. So I'm going to go and clear this little strip out here. Give people a break when they're coming through. This isn't bad, but it's pretty brutal up here. Oh, Chevelle climbs over and grabs her ball. Yeah. Nice. out up here.
I cleared this little stretch, and then I built a bench up here, and I continued on. Yeah, and I made a bench too. I played a little bit of ball with Chevelle, and then cleared down that a little bit, and that's all I'm doing for right now. Holy smokes, it's thick in here. You can't even see the trail ahead, but I know it's there. You can see the Greg River down there. Beauty spot. I think I got cell phone service here. I just had one bar behind me, so we'll check it out. I think I was the last one on this trail 10 years ago. Brutal. It was good all the way up to here, and then it's bad, so I'll have to just come and cut little strips and get people using it again. Just about got yanked off the quad back there. The branch grabbed right into the GoPro camera and yanked my head right back, so she's coming off right now. Other than that, it's all good. Can't even see Chevelle. She's 10 feet in front of me there. Well, this is Honda Hill. I did come down it once, and I came up it once. And I won't do it again. There's a spot here. You come down, it's really steep, just like the last one we just did. And it comes down and down. And then all of a sudden, it just drops straight down for, I don't know, maybe about 6 or 7 feet, but it's a ledge. I don't know if the camera gives you the idea how steep it is, but it's brutal. But we did come down it once, like I said, and I don't think I'd do it ever again. Pretty scary. But yeah, look at that. Holy smokes, I can't believe we went down this. I really can't even believe it. But there's a Honda quad frame right at the bottom, so obviously somebody came down and didn't make it. What people don't know is that there's a bypass back here, and I even missed it knowing that it was there. So I'm gonna cut the bypass right now. Like, I'm gonna really make it obvious. I thought I did that 10 years ago, but I guess not. Or it grew back in. Holy shit, that is one steep hill. So yeah, it's brutal, this trail. It's a good trail other than this spot. The last hill we did was close to as steep as this, but this one's just a little more. Hope that's you, Chevelle. Well, we're gonna go back and we're gonna clear that trail out. Just the opening. I must have missed it. For the bypass there. Geez, I don't know how I missed the trail. Should be up here somewhere. Right there? Oh shit, it's so hard to tell. That might be it, actually. Well, no wonder I couldn't find it. I honestly think I was the last guy to ever be on this trail. Yeah, exactly 10 years ago. Well, this is the trail. And it bypasses, and it's easy as far as I remember. Goes all the way to the bottom of that real steep hill. This is all shit that I cut 10 years ago. And there it goes. Holy man, this is brutal. I'll clean out a little bit and then that's it. Elk have been using it, I see. Well, there's the Honda Hill, but I don't know where this frame is. If it's here, I can't find it. And I looked all over. I see a couple of beer cans in there. I thought I have a picture somewhere of us sitting on it. We were on a night ride actually on this trail. And yeah. But anyway, it doesn't look like it's getting much better, but we're going to go to the top of the hill, and if it's brutal, I guess we're going to turn back. I hate turning back, but holy shit, this trail is gone, man. It's going to take a lot of work to open it up. Nice little moose lick here. Moose have been all over this place. Anyway, I just looked on my map, and just up here, there might be a little trail to the right, and if I can take it, I can link up with the trail I was cutting earlier on today. That would be really, really cool, because that would cut down on a lot of backtracking, but we'll see how it goes. Stay tuned. Okay, so where I'm at in this in the video before this here is just where, if you look at that straight line on the right hand side, and you can see where I did the bypass, right at the bottom where the track starts to go up towards the top of the screen. That's where I'm standing there in that last video. So Honda Hill, that's that one where you can see where I went up, where I was saying I don't want to go down that hill. That's that one off to the right there. That goes straight, and then I backtracked, and you can see where I did the bypass around. And I had to do quite a bit of cutting. I was for sure the last person on that trail. They were all weathered. You could see the logs were all weathered and stuff from when I cleared it last. So this app I'm using is called Motion X GPS. They don't even make it anymore, but I still have it on my phone, and I just love it. But anyway, so this map has 5 or 6 different maps you can use, and the problem with navigating with only one map is you just can't see all the trails. You need all those maps, or like 3 or 4 of them anyways, to figure things out. So you can see this is a different image, and I clearly can't tell there was a trail. But on the old map, I think it was the Apple Hybrid map, you could actually see, like, it was in black and white. Now they've updated it, it's in color, but back then it was in black and white, and you could even see it even better yet. So remember that trail I told you about that they used to use in the 1950s, like, or what I thought they used to do, where they had the old cut blocks follow the old trails follow like where their cut blocks were going to be. I'm pretty sure this trail is that, and that's how I found it. And I could just see that it went on the edge of old growth. So I'll bet you any money that's what it was. They tried to maintain those old trails instead of clear cutting over them. And I think that's what this one is. So my plan here was get on this trail, if I could even find it, and then link up to where I was clearing on earlier on in the day. Okay, so this is, you can see where I was on the left there. That's where I had cleared earlier on. And then you can see on the right where I linked up. And, you know, I don't think most people even noticed there was a trail there. But because it was in black and white, it either looked like a creek or it looked like a trail. And it was so grown in this trail. Like, I was wondering, like, why am I even doing this? But I didn't want to go all the way down the cut line because it was equally as bad and I had way farther to go. So I thought if I can just link up here, you know, and this was like around 9 or 9:30, something like that. So it was getting really dark in the bush, and this is like major grizz country, especially with the moose around. So I did not want to, you know, run into them, and it gets pretty thick here. Well, I must have lost my mind. There's the trail, folks. There is actually a trail here. And I'm just trying to connect the dots from where I was earlier this morning, or earlier on in the day when I was cleaning. But it's about 8:30 at night. It's not really dark out, but in the bush it is. I only have an hour of light left, so I'm gonna give her, and hopefully I can connect the dots. The only thing that's getting me anywhere is this map. If I didn't have it, I'd be screwed. Yeah, I've lost my mind. But, like, you can't even tell there's a trail here at this point. I'm just going off my map, which says I'm on the trail. Now, Chevelle was going that way, and she's really pissing me off because one little false move out here, and we lose each other. This isn't the place to find a dog. But she's going this way, so there's a good possibility the trail's there. She's usually pretty smart at being on a trail. But I don't know, I don't like her route. We're going this way. According to my map, I'm still on track. So, and that's cool because if it is going to link up. If I have to cut my way through the bush, I'm linking up to my trail. I'm only 300 yards or 300 meters from my trailhead. So there's Chevelle. You can't even hardly see her. Well, folks, I could be the king of bushwhacking because I even amazed myself there. I didn't think I could make that. That is brutal. There were spots where I literally just
I couldn't see nothing. The branches were hitting the throttle and we were going into the trees. And right here, there's a cliff off the edge here, so you don't want to go down. Anyway, look what I found.
Okay, so my phone had died and I just linked up to the spot where I was clearing earlier on in the day, and I kept giving Chevelle heck, telling her to follow me, and she kept going the other way, and she was always smart in the bush that way. This isn't the first time we ran into this, so this time, I followed her lead. I couldn't see it on my map anymore. I just couldn't find the trail, and so she said, "Come on, Dad, it's this way. Let's go." So I just kept on following her, and well, sure enough, she was on the trail, and then we linked up. But yeah, she's a super good bush dog, and I think it's because she's smelling the animals, the bears, the moose, the elk. They're all using those trails too. So even though I couldn't physically tell there's even a trail there, she could. So.
Well, somebody didn't want to be found. We had her standing right on end. If I would have blipped the throttle, would have went right over backwards. Oh, leave him. Hunting season isn't for another 3-4 days. That's the best one I've seen yet.